Newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and the 99.5 FM. My name is Joshua Van Sleckman, and a very happy Easter to you, and thank you for joining us. Let's get to the news in details. In January 2022, the government of Ghana issued a call for the entrusted firms to submit their bids to review ExxonMobil's 10 billion US Yellowtail Field Development Plan. By mid-month, 10 companies submitted their bids. By the first week in February, the government announced that Bayphase, one of ExxonMobil's long-standing clients, had won the tender. Given the sequence of events, it has left many industry experts confused at the revelation on April 1, 2022, that another company, Redford Group, headed by former Canadian Premier Alison Redford, was also part of the review process. What worries industry experts even more is that April 1, 2022 was the same day the administration announced the environmental authorization permit and production license for the Yellowtail project was approved with input from the controversial Canadian politician. Redford is a former politician, for one, with a career plagued by scandal. The advice of experts and studies encourages the involvement of civil society, not only the management of the oil and gas sector, but the overall development of the country. As such, local stakeholders are counting the call for a better information sharing relationship with government as part of the government's role in promoting transparency and public accountability. But when leaders refuse to cooperate by not getting the necessary groups involved, this is when public interest advocates become even more relevant, according to attorney at law and chartered accountant Christopher Ram. Ram is among several professionals who have been urging the government to release information pertaining to projects and huge financial contracts. And coming from Al Jazeera, the island nation of Sri Lanka is in the midst of one of the worst economic crises it has ever seen. It has just defaulted one of its foreign debts from the first time since its independence, and the country's 22 million people are facing crippling 12-hour power cuts and extreme scarce of food, fuel, and all the essential items, such as medicines. Even as the debt piles up, Sri Lanka looks to International Monetary Fund for an immediate bailout. Sri Lankans protesters have labeled the regime as loan criminals, noting that foreign debt led to the inflation, which it is at an all-time high of 17.5%, with price of food items such as a kilogram of rice soaring to $1.56 US when it would normally cost 25 cents US. Citing blatant irregularities in the conduct of an environmental impact assessment process for ExxonMobil's fourth project, the Yellowtail development, environmentalist Simon Mangle-Jolly has written to the EPA insisting that the permit recently granted for the company's operation be cancelled. In a letter to the EPA head, Mr. Kemraj Parsram, Mangle-Jolly contended that the regulatory deeply erred when it granted the oil company to go ahead for its project, even though the principle of the EIA process was not adhered to. She went on to explain that there were 4 violations of the process, which renders the Yellowtail permit invalid. During a virtual consultation held with the public back in November last year on the project's environmental impacts, several questions to the developer were left unanswered. In fact, ESSO and the consultant that prepared the EIA Environmental Resource Management mainly referred the public to the sections of the EIA to understand the project, rather than clear up any misconceptions or directly provide answers. A Lethem woman was on Thursday found brutally murdered along a track at the Papi Show Backdam landing located along the Middle Mazaruni River, Region 7. She was identified as 27-year-old Vanessa Francis of Lethem, Region 9. The woman had left her home some time back and had gone to the area to work. On Thursday, around 10 hours, persons traversing the landing area stumbled upon her battered body, lying face down in a clump of bushes along a small grass track. It is also being speculated that Francis was also raped by her attacker. Police reported that she was last seen alive on Wednesday night with a man and was murdered sometime after then. They have since arrested the man as their suspect, and he is presently being questioned at the Bartica police station. However, we were told that the suspect, identified as a direct owner in the Papi show Magnam, has denied that he had anything to do with her murder. And that puts a wrap on your morning newscast for today, Sunday, April 17th, 2022. Remind you that you can get the full details of these stories and much more by picking up a copy of the Kaieteur News at the newsstand near you, or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com. My name is Joshua Van Sleckman. Thank you for joining us. Once again, a very happy Easter to you and your family, and reminding you, if you're going out to fly kites, we encourage you to do so in open spaces. Have a great remainder of your Sunday.